Welcome to Weather Watch. I'm meteorologist Ted Keller, and this is recorded on Wednesday, the 5th of February, 2025. Lots of winter still to talk about, and a shift in the pattern is likely. Here's what I'm keeping an eye on. We've got some ice possibilities in portions of Pennsylvania, Maryland, also West Virginia. That's coming up, and I'll show you a radar loop and who is going to get the worst of that. We also have some slight severe storm chances. It's actually on the marginal side, and it's on the warm side of this same system that's going to produce the ice. It's a two-day event, actually, kind of centered around Kentucky. We have a snowstorm due in the Dakotas beginning on Friday into the early weekend, especially on Saturday. And generally speaking, we have a shift in the storm track, more south and more snow. So it's going to be tapping the cold air next week. We'll take a look at the model data and see what we can figure out. Here's a look at the satellite loop. This is the visible loop as we change to IR in the northeast, as we lose our visible shot because of darkness. You see a lot of just low clouds in the central U.S. here, just indicative of air behind the latest cool front, just kind of stuck fog, freezing drizzle in parts of the Midwest, around Kansas City especially. This is a developing system right here. That's going to be the ice I'm going to talk about here in a second. And the northern plains, chilly, but just really not all that bad. But they are expecting a snow up there by the weekend, by Friday actually. Here is the 500 millibar flow. So we have this disturbance right here is what's going to be fueling this rain system here. Continuing uplift of the air there, moisture wringing out into the form of rain, some thunder, and again, some snow and also some ice. Let's look at some radar loops, and the first one we'll look at is that ice situation that's going to be occurring through parts of Pennsylvania and Virginia and parts of West Virginia here later tonight. You can see the precipitation forming there pretty readily through southern parts of Ohio into Indiana, and that will be moving, as you can see, eastward into that slight risk or marginal risk for severe weather, and also into that cold air that's lingering in Pennsylvania. That's what's going to cause the icing problems. We'll kind of move over here. There's no precipitation showing up in the central part of the U.S., but all those rectangles right there are just freezing drizzle and freezing rain reports. Very little, though. Hasn't really, as far as I know, caused a lot of problems. Here's some light snow, traveler's advisories through northern parts of Minnesota and central Minnesota as well, and parts of the Dakotas. It's been windy out in southeastern Colorado with wind gusts reported here to, it looks like most 60 mile per hour wind gusts, pretty common there. There's a 58 right there. And we get a lot of snow reports in northern Idaho and also parts of western Montana, and a little bit of snow and precipitation in the higher elevations, 1-inch snows there, maybe as much as 4 inches of snow in parts of southern Washington. That kind of sums up the radar summary for this hour. So here's a look at the NAM. This is the North American model, and it shows precipitation type. So we have this band of ice here developing in Ohio, and that's going to continue, and we can, this is at 6 p.m. tonight, actually, and then this is going to move, and it'll be at its worst in northern Maryland, northern Virginia, I should say, Maryland, parts of West Virginia, parts of Pennsylvania, where it will be also kind of a sleet event, capped off by a little bit of snow. This is tonight, early morning hours at 3 a.m., so that system looks pretty potent, and it could cause some icing concerns in that part of the world. There's an ice storm warning, exactly where those areas were pinpointed by the model. And winter weather advisories, this back here is for light freezing, drizzle, and freezing rain. And this is for the snow and sleet mixture, and of course you see the ice warning. And this is a separate, weaker weather system moving through the Dakotas. That's not the weekend system that we've been discussing. We also have just a marginal lowest risk of severe weather from extreme southern Ohio down through the heart of Kentucky, down to Nashville. That's tonight still, as some of those thunderstorms could produce some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. And then this threat is actually kind of outlined again as the system kind of stalls a little bit Thursday. Smaller area, but still a low risk of some severe weather. Same parameters, no real tornado threat with this on Thursday through southern Kentucky, and again, as far south as possibly Nashville. Now here is the NAM forecast for midnight Thursday, showing this developing snowstorm here in North and South Dakota. Looks pretty good, actually, solidly in the cold air up there. The probability of getting snow greater than 8 inches as indicated right here, over that 48-hour period, Friday through Saturday, and it gets up to about a 50-50 chance there on the on the border between the Dakotas. So at least some areas could get an 8-inch snowfall, but we're going mostly for probably about a 2 to 6-inch snowfall total across that area. And if you're talking about next week, we have some winter weather shifts, if you will, a shift to the storm track, and the GFS model outlines that pretty well here today. We'll fast forward. First of all, you can see that precipitation in the northeast, see that freezing rain right there in Pennsylvania. We've talked about that, and the marginal risk for severe storms, it trails behind that a little bit. That's fine. There's the Northern Plains snowstorm right there. I'll just kind of toggle back and forth. You can see that in the Dakotas there. That's the one we talked about earlier, and that's going to move on, and that's going to create a pretty good snow, it looks like, in the northeast, too. And then right in through about here, you see the development of showers and thunderstorms in Texas there. That is Monday evening, and also capped with winter precipitation in Illinois and Missouri and Kansas. A little bit of layer of ice between those two, maybe. And then we just keep going here, and then we have a little upper level disturbance that'll keep the snow going possibly Tuesday morning. Then that goes away. Then we got another little snow band there through Kansas and Missouri. That goes through, looks like early morning Wednesday hours. And then we have another little system right there. That's Wednesday afternoon is where I'm stopping that. And so it looks kind of interesting next week. So we definitely have a kind of a shift. So there's kind of a wintry storm track next week that kind of sets itself up through here. So we'll keep a very careful eye on that as well. Thanks as always for watching Weather to Watch. If you like this video, please give it a like and also think about subscribing to the channel. We'll see you on the next video.